everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to the podcast. I have a very, very exciting guest today. I have Hans Ballew with me from Tennessee Pre. Like, this is like our little area's best unknown secret, really. I mean, I feel like this is like a competitive advantage over everybody else, man. But
Thank you.
welcome. Good to have you,
Thank you, man.
Hans.
It's great to be here, man. I've enjoyed meeting you and I love your content. It's
Well,
uh
thank
it's
you.
a true honor, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, and same. I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit off air, but like, I mean, what a product, what a culture. I mean, you've built it all up. But
Thanks, man.
the one thing, and I mean, that lemonade has gotten me through some rides. Let me tell you.
Yes, sir.
Um, why? Why? Well, I mean, what? I mean,
Yeah.
this. What caused you to just take over the market, man?
So I'm a principal by trade. So that's what I do daily. And I get up at like 3 in the morning to go work out. And so I'm mixing up like seven, 8 different products, which I pay like 30, $40 each for. And
Right.
I said, man, I wish somebody would put all this stuff in one jar. And then we decided, hey, why don't we just cast our net and see what happens. So
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened. We came up with a formula with everything that I like in it.
Yeah.
And one of it is the creatine hydrochloride, way better than creatine monohydrate. If you know your product, you know what I'm talking about. So you won't bloat as much. And then just, hey, let's add the BCAAs in there. Let's add a fat burner in there. Let's add, just a good pump formula and stuff. So
Right.
we just started adding, hey, what would we want in an all-in-one supplement? And then we just took off from there. We created different products, and we got like a stem free that's out right now. It's a really good product. Tennessee 10 kind of took over because it doesn't have the creatine and BCAAs in there. And so people can take that all through prep. So that's a big product for us too. We started Black Falcon, and that's just because of inflation. We had prices go out the roof as the whole industry saw that. And so I said, instead of making our product more expensive, let's create a product that's less expensive and cheaper. And so what can we do? So we went back to the drawing board and got into the science, and just try to create a very effective but very inexpensive product for the common man. So
That's crazy. And here in East Tennessee, we're known to brew our own.
yeah, that's
But
right.
what was this process like, man? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like, how did you? I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin to create my own
Yeah.
supplement
So I just
product.
started. I started looking on the backs of the labels of all the ones that I've bought in the past, and just started researching the ingredients. What do they do? What's the common? What's the clinical dosage? What's the
Right.
common dosage? And then I started experimenting myself and just started playing around and throwing some stuff together, and it turned out pretty good. At first, though, we had so much stuff in it that it was impossible to make it taste good. But I mean, you've had the lemonade. We
Right.
sent that back 7 times. I mean, it was probably 9 months before we got the flavor down. Stan Williams, if you know him in Gallenberg, he's a monster. And he was with me at the very beginning, just the nicest guy, but massive. And he said, Hans, I like it, but I don't think everybody else is going to like it. So at that point, we said, yeah, let's send this back again. And so we just kept until we wanted grandma's homemade lemonade, not like a
Oh,
Gatorade.
oh
Like,
man, and let me tell you, yeah, that lemonade,
thank you, man. Yeah,
premium.
so and that's our number one, man, is flavors whenever we're trying to produce, and then just trying to deliver a really good product. There's a lot of cheaper products out there that
Mhm.
we'll never be able to compete with the price with a cheaper product,
Right.
but we can hold our own when you're talking about a quality product. So
Well, and you kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, like clinical, right? Like
right,
you're making. I mean, not it's a quality product, right?
thanks, man.
That's it. First and foremost, you guys put quality first, and it definitely
Thank you.
shows. And I mean, I think it shows with what you've created around you, right? Like, I mean, jokingly, I call it the best kept secret in East Tennessee, but I mean, it's
Yeah,
blowing up. I mean,
yeah,
and I think that's a testament to that. I mean, what's the experience been like to get all this positive feedback and to have so much
unbelievable.
growth?
Unbelievable. I literally made this at the beginning for like me and a couple of my friends to have pre-workout. And
Right.
then it just put it on social media. I wasn't really on social media, so I had no idea. Put it out there and it just caught fire. So it
Yeah.
was amazing that I can't tell you how many times like we're at a booth or we travel all the time. We're always popping up. And when somebody says, man, that tastes really good, or I really like your formula, how happy it still makes me 3 4 years later, after putting all that sweat and tears into it, and just the creative process that goes into it. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been humbling that people do like something that you created as a creator,
Oh
and
yeah.
and it just blows your mind, man. That hey, other
Yeah.
people like the same kind of stuff I do.
There
So
you go. Well, and I mean, and also too, I mean, I know a couple of athletes just finished competing very well. But what's the ambassador? I mean, you created such a great culture around it, right? Like,
thank
I mean, I've worked with a few of your athletes, and they're all exceptional and they're all, winners. But what, kind of talk to that because I feel
yeah,
like it just didn't happen that way. Like you seem
yeah.
like you've created a great culture around you.
Well, it starts with good people, and so we had a core group of people that, some of them are still around, some of them aren't. But our focus was to create a family. It's not Ballew pre. It's not my name. It's about Tennessee, and it's about all the athletes that are here. There's not a lot of money in bodybuilding, but there's a lot of hard work, and they don't get rewarded enough, especially at the amateur level, as you know. And so we want to just create something. Hey, how can we support athletes, and not just bodybuilding, but I mean we're in every
Oh
facet.
yeah.
Like we're looking at a one of those roller derby things right now. We're sponsoring a
Okay.
football team and the G8FL. We've branched out to a bunch of different stuff. So,
Right.
but anyway, it's really cool. The best part about it is that when you look online and you're on social media, how all these guys support each other, and they just created this amazing family culture that's like, hey man, we're all in this together, and I don't care if you're from Memphis or Nashville, Murfreesboro, Chattanooga, like we're all connected, and we are, and we see
Yeah.
each other at the shows and powerlifting meets and stuff. So it's really cool to see people support each other. But then also, one of our number one athletes is Courtney Bias,
Yeah.
and seeing her go from, hey man, I work out sometimes, and then we're at a show one time, and I saw her get the fire in her eyes, and within a year she won first place at a show, and then she just competed again and knocked it out of the park
Yeah.
in Florida.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's fulfilling.
It is. It is. And I see the orange garb, you know,
Game day,
and
baby.
I know it's game day for y'all. And I know that you had a Vol who was actually high on the product as well. You had a
Absolutely.
little Hendon Hooker there.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that experience like?
So as soon as he entered the transfer portal, I knew he was going to be our starting quarterback. I told my late twin brother, I said, Seth, he's going to be our starter. He said, nope, they've already named. It's going to be, yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah.
said, that's fine. But by week 4, and sure enough, week 4 or 5, he ended up taking it.
Yeah.
And we just knew he was a quality person too. I messaged him the first day he entered the transfer portal. It was also the first day for NIL, so it was legal.
Mhm.
And so I did message him and I said, hey man, would you consider representing Tennessee pre? And this is the best part, man. He said, let me pray about it. And then he'd
Oh,
get back the next day.
see
Dude,
there.
I'm telling you, an equality dude. Like we've been at things together before, and how he plays with kids and makes them feel special, man,
Yeah.
it's a home run.
That's awesome. I'm excited for, I mean, I'm a dog fan, but I'm still excited for that young man.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, y'all having a good year.
having a good year, having a good year. It took a few to get there. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
it took a few to get there. So,
yeah, but y'all on
but
top
that's
now,
but that's just SEC football, right? I mean,
man.
that's one of the great things about this state and this part of the country, and I believe it breeds into all of us, right? Like you talked about that
Absolutely.
competitive spirit and that culture. You know, what if somebody was interested in being an ambassador for Tennessee Pre? Like what do
Yeah,
you mentioned that first and foremost, it's important to be a child of God, but I mean,
yeah.
what other things do you look for aside from culture and quality?
As sometimes, I mean, we don't really look at following as much, but we do look at, hey, are you encouraging other people?
Right.
Do you actually drop comments on other people? Are you liking the whole family's posts? If so, then that means you want to be in, and it's a more of a we thing, not a me thing.
Yeah.
And we can see, hey, man, this person's all about the family. Then usually we promote. But like the brand ambassador program is a little bit different from the athletes. So like
Hmm.
athletes are sponsored, they're full sponsorship, but the brand ambassadors, they get a code and they get to use it. We have upwards of 350 brand ambassadors that have joined us
Wow.
Southeast,
That's
and so
awesome.
and beyond. We have some in California, Washington, etc. So it's really cool though when you take a very big world and or a very big planet and it becomes a very small world where everybody's connected. So it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Oh, that's super cool. That's super cool. And a part of that too. I mean, you've kind of got some special things planned for this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing that we're really excited about, and this is kind of making it fun for me again, is that we're going to gyms, but we're kind of doing gym tourism videos. And so instead of like just doing a gym hype video, we're going to do some of that, but we're going to introduce the gym, let you know who the owners are or managers or whatever, and then interview some people that are at that gym. Just say, hey, why do you come to this gym? And then when we're there, we're going to show you basically what body parts are the best to hit. For instance, I dropped this on another video, but if I'm in Johnson City and I'm going to bull pit, I'm probably working legs, man. You know that
Oh
scene.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
got that whole hallway full of legs. So then we'll
Yeah.
probably highlight a few pieces of equipment too, and just say, hey, this is a unique piece of equipment. But then also, a lot of our followers are just getting started, and
Right.
so we'll say, okay, if you're just getting started, this is how you perform this exercise. Or if you're older like me, how do you modify it a little bit to make sure you prevent injury? Or if you are injured, how do you go
Right.
around that? So we'll give some knowledge there, but then also we're going to have a lot of fun. So afterwards, we find a restaurant that's a local dive, and we just go hit it and say, hey, here's a cheat meal, and then here's a clean meal.
Right.
If you're trying to stay on point, and then we're going to do some just really cool stuff like we went axe throwing this last time. We've got a rage room that's hooked up. I don't know if you ever done a rage room before, but that's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
There's one here in Bristol. Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
So yeah, so if you're an alpha dad and you're just like, hey, I'm traveling, and I just want something cool to do. I want to hit a good gym and I want to get some good food.
Yeah.
We got you. I mean, that's what the videos
That's
are going to be
awesome.
all about. So
That's really cool. That's really cool and unique too. What made you think of that? I mean, where did
I
this
have
idea
no
come
idea,
from?
dude. I don't know where the ideas come from. So I will say this because I'm about to go to it January 1st, but
Yeah.
we go to state parks a lot, and so we have this vision casting every 3 months. So we go rent a cabin, lock ourselves away, turn the phones off, walk, get alone in nature, get alone with God, and then it's like that's when ideas just pop into your head because you're stress free, nothing's
Yeah.
ruining your creativity, and then it's a blank slate. So then God is able to pour stuff into, and anyway, I think my best ideas
That's
come
really
from those
cool.
retreats. So
Yeah. That's hey, that is a great opportunity. It being the first of the year, I think that's kind of important for people.
yeah,
I should probably get away and clear my head out a little bit more than I do, but that's really cool, man. That's really
yeah,
cool. So what um if someone were interested in kind of catch you guys at one of these gym tours or
yeah.
just keep up with it, where can they keep up with it?
Yeah, so they can keep up with it on our Instagram, of course, Tennessee Pre. We post it on there, and then also we've created a YouTube channel, and we'll be posting the links on the Instagram, so you can just go right to it that way. It's called Alpha Dads. It's just guys that are we're still competitive dudes, but we're 40, and
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and we got all these responsibilities, but we're still learning. Hey, how do we have a good time
Yeah.
and still have a little part of us too? So
Oh man, you're talking right to me. I mean, because the mind is still willing, the body sometimes lets me down.
we
Yeah,
we've all been there, brother.
that's right. That's right. My wife and I, we just finished up Christmas. We did a lot of yoga accessories, I love the therapy guns. We're trying to get all the knots and kinks back out of it so we can get back into it. But well, Hans, man, I greatly appreciate you jumping on with me.
Yes, sir.
This has been a ton of fun. I look forward to running into you again because I'm definitely going to check it out, and I'm sure I'll see you at a few shows and stuff. But I mean, it is just great to not only hear your story, but get to learn a little bit more about your company culture. Because
Sure.
sometimes I think that's quality products can come and go, but
Right.
a quality culture built around the company is more important than anything. And I appreciate your time,
Amen.
sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, and I appreciate you. What an honor to have me, and
Yeah.
we'll do it again sometime.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Keep me informed of anything new that's coming out or anything else. So